Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Wednesday, December the 9th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and the room is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am live on the mic between those two times. All right, pretty good day. A lot of activity, actually. And let me just get in the first trade of the day. And this was FRAN, and it came from our channel, our TI, or sorry, our AI alert channel. And the interesting thing about I just want to show you something here, and this is why, when if you're in the room at all, and Dan comes in, and certainly I say the same thing. There is definitely a human element involved when you're trading these. Sometimes when you're trading these strategies, for me, it's all the time, but definitely on a day like today, you have to be able to trade, as Dan says, like a human. For instance, take a look at this. Look at the profit and loss. Now, at this point, this is the beginning of the day, slightly positive, then a little dip into the negative, and all of a sudden we had a massive surge, and mainly because oil prices rallied. And in the AI channel today, there were a lot of oil stocks. And so at one point, I think we were up about $7.50. And then look what happened. All of a sudden, I don't know if news came out about oil. I really haven't got any idea. Didn't look at the news, but maybe people started taking profit. A lot of people, of course, horribly underwater with a lot of their oil positions. So maybe they looked at this as a godsend, a spike, and then they decided to sell. I really don't know. It doesn't really matter. The point of this is that look what happened afterwards. I mean, then all of a sudden you're in a big losing position. So, I maintain that, when you're in this position right now, and then you start to see it slide. I mean, you've got to take profit. You cannot let all this profit turn into a loss like this. So, now, we had a lot of alerts also today. Probably, well, in my opinion, too many. Some people like a lot of alerts. That means they can watch a lot of different stocks during the day, maybe time them, even if they don't work at the beginning. Maybe you play them if it's a long play that hasn't worked. Maybe you try to play a bounce and all. Personally, I would rather have fewer, but that's just my personal preference. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out to you that there is a human element involved that you, for instance, a lot of these will look like losses because they are time stopped. 350, 10 to 4, maybe 6. Here are some. 350, 350, 2 hour hold, 60-minute hold. So I mean, you cannot let a profitable position turn into a loss just because this is telling you to hold to 350. Okay, so and with that in mind, this is how I traded Fran. Now, Fran came out as let's see, where did it come out at? I got into the trade at 1645. So let me just get this a little bit bigger. So I took the trade right here at 1645. Let me just put a mark on it, about 1645. I think the actual alert was one of the early ones. The actual alert was at, just one second, get this in alphabetical order. That's going to help me find it. So the actual alert was at 1633. So 1633. So right, it was very quick. But the way the market was rolling, and I don't usually try to take trades this early, but the way the market was rolling, I decided to get into the trade, but it was a very, very quick trade. 1645, I'm in. 1670 right there on that spike, I'm out. I'm always usually trying to take some quick profit if it's there. And then basically flat on the last bit. I did not, and this is what I'm saying. I think this was in theory, let's see, when was I supposed to hold this till? Um, can't see where the stop was. It might have been a stop price, but at any rate, I would never have let this get below my buy price. And look what happened. I mean, so I'm just trying to say that you have to have some human instinct involved when you are trading these. And so that was a pretty quick one. Now, the next one was the same, WLL, again, another energy stock. And at this point, energy was just ripping. Let me get to a 15-minute time frame on this. And so again, the alert came in at 1280. Now I was very late. I mean, here's where the actual alert came in. Don't think I'm symbol linked here. Let me just get the symbol linking going. I don't know what's going on. It should be linking. Oh, I know. There's a little bit of a I wouldn't want to call it a bug, but normally we'd get a blue arrow right here, but we're not getting them in this window right now. It's coming in the next release. It used to be, and they've been doing a lot of fiddling around. There's going to be some unbelievable things, as Dan keeps saying, happening to our charts. At any rate, the alert actually was at 1280. That was so right about here. So I was very, come on, sorry. I was very late. So there's where the alert was on this candle. So I waited because I had already missed it. And I waited a little bit here on this candle. I see how it was red and then it started to move up. And again, now you have to remember now oil was starting to move, SPY was starting to move, everything was starting to move up. So I decided to take the trade and I took the trade actually at 13.15. I know it says 16, but I took the trade at 13.15. And it actually started to move down, and I thought I was going to get stopped out. And then almost in my next breath, as I was saying that, it just took off to the upside. This is a beautiful, I mean, this is a 50-minute candle, but this happened in about a minute. Got up to here. I took some out. It's at 1347. And then as it started coming down, again, this is what I'm saying. I would never, never, never let a profit turn into a loss. So I basically exited just above my entry price at 1318. And then, I mean, it actually, if you take a look at the SPY, see, look what the SPY did. First of all, here's where it closed yesterday, 206. So we had a weak opening, started getting weaker in the pre-market, then all of a sudden, boom, it just completely took off. And that's what a lot of the oils, I think this was due to oil stocks. And so all these oil stocks were doing the same thing. So that's why I piled into that. And then look what happened, just a complete and utter collapse. So that's what I'm saying. You get into something that's profitable. Why would, even if it said, well, you're supposed to wait till 10 to 4, you would never let this happen to your position. Let's see. The other one that I did, GMLP, turned into a little bit of a loss, which is too bad because ultimately I took this one. I think this was another AI alert, and I took it at 1310, and it was just a little too choppy for me. And I took it at 1310, got into a minor profitable position, but then as it came back down to 1302, I exited for an 8 cent loss, and then right after that, it got to 1330. But then look, it chopped back right back down to here. So this was definitely a kind of what I would call a choppy trade. But same, I believe GMLP is. Obviously, it's an oil and gas play also. No, it isn't. Actually, it's hmm, it's transportation. That's right. It's a transportation stock. But at any rate, it didn't. I always like to put a pretty tight stop on things, so I was only out for an 8 cent loss. But the nice trade of the day for me, anyway, was Serve. Now, Serve was not an alert today, but you'll notice that I have Serve should be somewhere around here, right here. So again, if you don't know what I'm doing with this window, if you're in the room, you're new to the room, you haven't heard my explanation for what I'm doing, what I do is I will take now all of these trades, and there are a lot of them today. I'll take all these trades and I will copy and paste them into a symbol list. And that symbol list is right here. Here's a symbol list, and it's just a list I've named AI watch list. And obviously, I've got these are symbols from previous AI alerts. They could be several weeks old. I mean, I think MENT is definitely a couple of weeks old, and I've just wanted to hang on to it to see what might happen to it. But now what I'll do is I will take this watch list, symbol list. I'm going to add all the alerts for today. And so they'll all be added to all these stocks right here. Then I'll go through every one of them again. And then I'll see, do I want to keep this one? Do I want to keep this one? No, I don't. So I'll get rid of that. And some will be added from today. Some will be deleted from the previous days. And so it's basically a running list of alerts. Now, one that unfortunately HRB, H&R Block was in yesterday, and for whatever reason, I can't quite remember why, but it didn't make my list of one that I wanted to keep track of, and I really should have because I'll show you HRB. It was just basically down, 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 down. And I really, this would have been beautiful had it have been in this list. I would have seen it and more than likely taken a short position on it. But anyway, you miss some sometimes. But serve, I guess, is a long-winded explanation of why I saw serve was on my list and in my AI alert list. Now what the difference between the top list is I'm going to see all these stocks all day long in relation to where they are to the high of the day. And so serve, I kept getting an alert on it as it was not as approaching, every time it made a new low. So when it made a new low, and the new low was about 38.54. Let's get serve back. So 38.54. And I think it probably had an alert up here also, but see what I was looking at here? It's kind of free of this little cluster and now moving down. So again, now remember, the market was down, and I decided, okay, this was ripe for a short. Maybe a little bit late, probably would have liked to have got in up here, but got into the trade around 30, not around, I got in at 38.54. See if I can move this cursor or this dotted line a little bit. Okay, good enough. So I got into the short right here and just rode it down. I did take some out along the way at 38.39, at 38.20, and at 38.19 as it came back up. I was really hoping that it would have a big collapse through 38. Just didn't happen. I think the SPY was starting to rally a little bit here. And in fact, I had told the room that, had I had some time, but I knew I was going to be tied up, I would have liked to have taken this as now a bounce right around here. And because I think if I get into a 5-minute candle, you're going to see what I was looking at. So right here, see this little red candle here? So here's the green candle, red candle, green candle. So basically our red RBI, red bar ignored on the 5-minute chart. And so right here, this was right, and this is where I got out of my last bit of my position. It was at 38.11. Would have loved to have taken the stock right here. It would have been a bit of a scalp here, but now look what's happening to it. It's definitely on the rebound. But anyway, that turned into a good trade, and really all because I spent the time going through. It takes me about 10 minutes after the market closes, and just going through every one of the stocks just to see, do I want to keep it or do I not want to keep it? Obviously, I don't want to have too many. I actually have probably a little too many. I probably should pare it down to about 25 stocks, but that's why I saw serve today. And let's see, I think that's it. 12 minutes, 13 minutes into the video. Yeah, I think that's it. So renovation still taking place in the house, so that's why I was a little discombobulated today, but definitely had some good trades. So again, I'll wrap this up. Here is how to get into the room. This is the address. Room is open 9 a.m., 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.